Hello KTS, I'm Mr. Lee. It is my first time to appear on KTS channel. So today I'm going to talk about the power of questions. So why do we learn the power of questions? Before we answer the question, let's take a look at what we have learned in the previous lessons. In the previous lessons, you have chosen a movie. I remember some of you have chosen The Day After Tomorrow, The Avengers, Harry Potter, etc. So, you also have written an individual presentation on your movie, and you did some corrections on the movie as well. And then you have presented it in front of the class, and we also videotape your presentation. And today I'm going to talk about how to improve your last presentation. So let's take a look. Before we answer the questions, let's take a look at what you have learned in your previous lessons. In your previous lessons, you have chosen a movie. Some of you chose The Avengers, some of you chose Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, The Avengers. Some of you have chosen a war movie about a doctor that is called Hacksaw Ridge. And then you have also written a presentation on your movie. And you have also presented it in front of the class. And today we are going to learn how to improve your presentation. So why do we ask questions at the presentation? The first main point is to grab the attention of your audience. Now, make sure you talk to your audience. You ask questions, they can follow. And then next, you can build a better relationship with your audience. And to make your classmates think, when you're presenting your movie, when you ask a question, they can think simultaneously. And then you can also show a stronger audience awareness. That is, your classmates know what you are talking about, and you are really talking to them. And finally, the main point is to score higher marks in your exams. Now you may ask, how to achieve it? How to ask questions? Now, I will give you some examples to improve your presentation. So, let us take a look at the following example. Let's take a look at the original version. During the lessons, you chose a movie, wrote up your presentation, and spoke in front of your classmates. But the new version with the questions, they are in pink. So let's take a look. Do you still remember what we did in our last lessons? You chose a movie, wrote up your presentation, and spoke in front of your class. So with these questions, you are making a connection with your audience. So let us take a look at another example. So original version, it was interesting. The movie is exciting and Thanos is big. The new version, it was interesting, we change it into, it was interesting, wasn't it? It was interesting, wasn't it? So you are asking a question, you are making a connection with your audience. So, this question, they can think. This movie is exciting, isn't it? Isn't it? Thanos is big, isn't he? Thanos. Do you know who Thanos is? So, this is the big guy in the latest Avengers movie. This is Thanos. Thanos is big, isn't he? Compare this version with this version. Thanos is big, just a statement, but Thanos is big, isn't he? I expect you to answer me that he is big. Now, actually, they are called the question tags. The question tags. You learn it in your Form 1 and 2. Now, in Form 5, you are going to learn it again, and you are using it in your presentation. So, let me repeat. Thanos is big, isn't he? Now, take a look at this example as well. This is the third one and the last one. Let's take take a look at the third example and the last example as well. Now, the original version, today I've talked about how to improve your presentation. The new version with a question on it. Today I've talked about how to improve your presentation. Would you like to try? I bet you will. So, I'm making a contact with you. I'm asking you to take action. Now, having listened to this, I bet you will want to improve your presentation by adding some questions into it. So class, let us go deeper into the powerful questions. You may wonder how. Now, ask questions at the beginning of the presentation. So, for example, which is your favorite Marvel character? Spider-Man, Hulk, but mine is Doctor Strange. So, of course, you are talking about the film Doctor Strange. The second example, have you watched any movie during Easter holiday? Have you watched any movie during Easter holiday? Today, I would like to talk about. You ask a question first, and then you talk about the movie. And then the next one, what is your favorite genre? What is your favorite genre? Genre means the kind of movie you like. What is your favorite kind of movie? Now, you ask a question and then followed by a statement. My favorite genre is war movie. War, about Second World War. Today, I'd like to talk about Hacksaw Ridge, a war movie. So this is a very good start. Some of you, or may I say two of you, have chosen the movie Hacksaw Ridge. This is a war movie and you can use this in your presentation. Okay, after learning type 1, we learn type 2. When to ask. Ask in the middle of the presentation and after a statement. How, we may wonder. For example, the plot is interesting, isn't it? The story is interesting, isn't it? This is a question tag. You are making a connection with your audience. Captain America is really strong, isn't he? Captain America is really strong, isn't he? You want to watch the movie now, don't you? So after listening to the presentations, you may want to watch. And then as the presenter, you ask the audience to take action. So you want to watch the movie now, don't you? You love watching fighting scenes, don't you? You love watching fighting scenes, don't you? So these are called the question tags. They are very useful for you to do presentations. So the second questions you want to make is to make some questions with question tags. So let me talk about the last question type 3, when to ask the questions. Of course, you can ask the question at the end of your presentation. For example, do you want to watch the movie? I bet you will. Do you want to watch the movie? I bet you will. You ask questions at the very end of your presentation. And then, will you recommend it to your friends? Will you recommend it to your friends? I bet you will. So you are also making a connection with your audience, and also the very, very important thing, you call for action. So class, let me do the summary of the power of questions. Now, the main one is to grab your audience attention and to make your classmates think. You ask questions, they will think about it. They can follow what you are talking about. And to build a better relationship with your classmates. You are not reading from your notes. You are not just looking at the camera, but also at your audience. You are asking them questions. And next, to show a stronger audience awareness. You know that they exist there. They are listening to you, so you are making a connection with them. And finally, you have to sit for SBA and the oral exams, and it is very important to get higher marks. So, after the summer, I will give you the worksheet about the power of questions, and you do the worksheet and also refine your presentation. Okay?